From cancel culture to public shaming, those who have had COVID-19 have now become the latest target, including my next guest, Beverly Hallberg. She recently tweeted, "The strangest thing about getting COVID is the amount of people who've contacted me privately to say they've had it too. I hate that we've been afraid to share something that is in so many ways out of our control. I have an idea. Let's collectively stop the shaming." Beverly joins me now. All right, first, Beverly, you got to ask, how you feeling? Are you getting better?
I'm getting better. About a week in, still congested, but and still tired, but doing pretty well. So I think I got off easy on this one.
So, I mean, I thought it was an amazing point that you brought up, and I hadn't even realized that the COVID shaming was going on, but I guess it is. But what's the reasoning for it?
Well, I think part of this is, and like I was saying in that tweet, I was really surprised by how many people reached out to me privately. This wasn't something that they retweeted and shared with their followers that they had COVID as well. I got DMs through Twitter. I got personal emails. I got texts, people wishing me well, but also sharing with me how they had recently had it and the steps they took with vitamins and food to try to get over it. And so I started thinking through it. I was like, why are people so fearful of sharing? And I think it's because we do see that there is shaming, whether or not you're wearing a mask. Where did you go? Is your employer going to look down on you? How are your friends and family going to treat you? I even saw you tweeted out about this and one of your followers saying that she feels like a leper because she currently has COVID. And so the message I wanted to put out there is look, there's no fault. Yes, people can be reckless, but most of us are taking the precautions that we need to take. For example, I'm recording this in my home today. I'm not at another studio. I'm being safe. But I think it's important for us to talk about it because due to no fault of our own, the reality is many of us in this country are going to get COVID-19. I'm one of them, and many of your viewers have as well.
All right. I want to also switch gears here a little bit before and ask you about reports that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is looking to, quote, rein in the media. This, of course, in the wake of misinformation during the Capitol riots. Now, I don't know about you, but it sounds like we're not going down that slippery slope. We're picking up speed. What I mean, it's a serious veiled threat. What's she going to do? What would Congress do with something like this?
Well, ironically, I think it's interesting the AOC is mentioning this. I think we could fact check her quite a bit on her recent statements and statements in the past. But the reason why this is so concerning is this is separate than the debate that we're having about big tech. Big tech, we can debate whether or not they're allowed to censor speech on their own platforms, whether or not that constitute monopoly. If a place like Parler can't go somewhere else to get service. So that is a debate that needs to be had. But here's why this is so different. The First Amendment is clear about this, Charles. The First Amendment says that Congress cannot make any law that abridges the freedom of speech, and included in that with the press. So for her to make this type of statement means that if it went forward, and I would hope it wouldn't, it's in direct conflict to the First Amendment and to our rights. And right. So the Constitution doesn't make any exception for the type of speech. It just says we have the right to free speech. So this is very concerning.
Right. Beverly, get better. Glad you are. And we'll talk to you again. Talk to you again next week.
Sounds good, Charles.
From the streets of New York City.